Hi to all from Fabrizio, and we are here to explain this new article about MAC address filter to restrict Wi-Fi access. And it is my language, but it is Italian. You can find to this browser nersolution.net/with it and the title, and you can easily translate on your language with the plugins that you can find on the right of the site. So we go to explain, and let's see now how to configure a MAC address for your modem router. Primarily, we try to understand why we do this. And we have already told you every time each computer enabled to browse the network as a network card that has its own MAC address. Sometimes it's called to a physical address of a network card a little improperly, because inside the LAN it is obviously has its own recognition. What should be emphasized is that each MAC address is created by the house that produces the network card inside your PC, but that above all the most important thing to underline is that it expresses is a unique physical address. Let's go into the specify. What is the MAC address filter? As the word itself says, it is a filter, nothing more, nothing less. Obviously, it is a computer filter, not a normal filter. Its task is, in fact, to make access to the World Wide Web accessible from the Wi-Fi only some physical addresses of some network card and not other. A clarification, of course, also modem, cell phone, in particular Android smartphone, have a network card and consequently a physical IP address. With the technique of a MAC address filter, on practice you must create two lists, that it is a whitelist and a blacklist, and only the whitelist can access to internet, as you can see on the figure. This is the address of the blacklist 151, and this is the address of the whitelist. The whitelist can access to internet, the blacklist cannot do it. It is easy. Now that we understand that it is it, try to understand how and why to use it. Honestly, I will tell you my personal experience. Everything was born from the observation that although the line was very fast in theory, but on practice it was very slow. Obviously, I have an IAES encrypted password, so relatively secure, until I checked the IP addresses accessing to the World Wide Web from my line from my gateway IP address, which you can check from the site that you can see here, that it is my IP address. You can Google and write something else and you found it. You found your public IP that everyone can see about your connection to internet. At this point, I checked the physical IP addresses of the MAC addresses that accessed my router and therefore had access to the outside. For the public IP visible through the site I indicate above, and unfortunately I found there were physical IP addresses that they are also called private individual who did not belong to me. Someone have access to my internet without my permission. That is, someone with a stress test mechanism had found my AAS password on my modem router and was not quietly accessing the network without my permission, as I have said before. Obviously, the thing is very serious, but this is certainly not the focus of the article of the post. But one thing is certain: you must you must do something because the line or that public IP address is in your name. Obviously, my password had been identified through a program that eventually discovered it for you anyway. How to enable the Fileter Mac address. I will explain how to do it in my router that is a TPC link, which is one of the most commercially available of all. The first thing you will need to do in this command is write cmd on the Explorer of Windows. Identify the four bricks get married on the magnifying glass right, CMD, and you will have the classic DOS prompt. Once this is done, write on the CRI or command line the command ipconfig, and you obtain something about this. I have erased many things, but the important is the IP address of the default gateway. That on my case, and I suppose also on yours, is 192.168.1.1. You should have to explain very similar the following. Take your IP FE80 and go to the gateway screen of the administration TCP link that I have on this address that you must write on the browser on the browser. Now from your TPC link, go on wireless and wireless MAC filter address and enter. You must create a whitelist as this. I have erased the MAC address, but here we rewrite the MAC address, one for connection, and you must insert the status, the host descriptions, etc. And after do it, you have created a whitelist. This whitelist you must give the enable, so you click here on allow. When I have done it, only the MAC address that are right on this line have access to the internet. In my case, as you can see, I have several MAC addresses. Once entered enable, in practice from now on only the filtered addresses will be able to access the World Wide Web, so any bad guys will stay out. This is all. This is very simple, and if you have some problem, you can ask me. No problem. Okay?